Hello there, people of the internet. How's everybody doing today? Welcome to my gun range. I am out here with a CZ527M carbine. I always get those last few numbers mixed up. I can't remember if it's a 527 or a 572. But this right here is a bolt action 7.62x39. This is a pretty neat little rifle. It is incredibly lightweight. It would make for a very handy little carbine doing whatever outdoors activities it is that you're wanting to do. This is not my rifle. This is just a rifle that a friend of mine is letting me use for the sake of making a video. In return for making the video, my payment back to him is I have to zero this thing in. The rifle has an optic on it that has not yet been zeroed. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to zero this in while I go ahead and make this video. Now let's go ahead and discuss the rifle a little bit. It's a Mauser style, Mauser model bolt action system. It's not quite exact to like the 98 model, but you can definitely tell that there's a lot of different aspects that come from Mauser's design. The safety right here on the right hand side, rear of the receiver, it stops you from opening the bolt, it stops you from pulling the trigger, it does everything that a safety is supposed to do. Whenever the safety is off, there's a big red dot there, so anyone who is familiar with guns knows that red means dead, and if the red dot is showing, that means that if you pull the trigger, the gun will go bang. This gun is currently empty, so we don't have to worry about any negligent discharges here. It is a surprisingly smooth gun. It is a cock-on open action. I have not yet shot it, but I am very impressed with the quality and smoothness yet stiffness of the action. The scope, this right here is a Reuploaded scope. I don't know anything about it. This right here is the scope that my buddy put on the rifle, and he asked me to zero it whenever I was out here making this video. This rifle does have iron sights on it. It looks like just a standard base rear sight. If I had to make an assumption, I'd say it's probably zeroed out to 200 meters, but I'm not positive about that. Front sight has one hell of a beefy sight hood on it, just in case you decide to go knocking it around anywhere. Looks like the front sight also has one of those little white dots on it that helps you find your front sight picture nice and easily. Rear sight does not have any white dots on it. It is just a black rear sight. This gun right here, according to the literature that is on the side of it, it is a 1 in 9.5 twist, 7.62x39, made in the Czech Republic, imported from Kansas City by CZ527. I have no idea how many rounds this magazine holds. It's obviously a single stack magazine. If I had to make an assumption, I'd say either 4 or 5. This right here would make a very decent little hunting rifle. Let's find out how many rounds this magazine takes. I have actually never fired a bolt action 7.62x39, so this is going to be a brand new experience for me as well. Alright. Okay, looks like we can cram 6 into the magazine. No, we cannot. Almost. We can almost cram 6 in there, but this is in fact a 5-round magazine, so you can take this hunting if you felt like it. Okay, and looking around, it looks like I forgot my hearing protection, so I'm gonna have to go grab that. This is not a fault. Oh goodness, that's flying off the table. We got some wind out here if you haven't noticed. It's not the fault of the CZ rifle, but I'm not a fan of this scope because it requires a secondary tool to make any adjustments. So I had to break out the old flathead screwdriver here in order to adjust this rifle. So I'm never a fan of anything that requires a secondary tool for adjustments or disassemblies. Let me go grab my hearing protection. Well, I just went on one hell of an adventure trying to find my hearing protection. I could not remember where I put them to save my life. Turns out they were on my ammunition shelf behind my ammunition. How I got there, I can't remember. But let's go back to talking about the rifle. First off, no magazine, weapon is clear. A lot of people get on to me about that, even though I've already checked it off screen 10 times. But no magazine, weapon is clear. The trigger pull on this thing is alright-ish for what it is. A little bit of a creep, maybe 3.5, maybe 4-pound trigger. Rough guesstimation, but with these CZ rifles, what's really cool about these is you can actually push the trigger forward just a little bit, and it turns it into a set trigger. And my god, the trigger pull that this becomes is much lighter than the original trigger pull. I mean, you can just breathe on this thing and she'll fire. My goodness, I can't get over how lightweight and how little creep there is. just how zeroed in this scope already is. By the looks of it, we are pretty close to center, and CZ makes very nice weaponry, so I get the feeling that this is going to be pretty damn close to sighted in. Alright, so I'm just going to aim for the biggest white spot on that steel silhouette. I got it freshly painted, so we'll be able to see where we hit. I'm going to use, let's use the set trigger first before we go using anything else. Safety is off. I should know that. I just cycled the bolt. Let's go ahead and aim downrange, take a shot, and see what happens. Alright. It looks like, I'm not sure if we hit or not. Let me wander down that way. Recoil on this is incredibly light, my goodness. Alright, we did not make a hit on target, and we have no splattering or spalling on the steel itself, so that tells me we probably hit a little bit high. Makes sense considering the bore of axis. I'm going to aim at the bottom of the target, and we'll see if we make a hit. Also going to use that good old set trigger, my goodness. That is an incredibly light trigger pull. As somebody who is used to firing Mosins and military surplus Mausers, this thing is nice. Alright, aiming at the bottom of the steel. Let's see if we hit it this time. We did! Okay, so it looks like we are hitting quite a deal high and a little bit to the right. Let me go ahead and adjust that real quick. Okay, scope has been adjusted. I have no idea how far this is adjusting. We're at about 40 yards or so. And this is 1/4 inch at 100 yards. So I just kind of tweaked it a pretty significant amount. Now we're going to aim for exactly where I'd aimed before, and we're going to see how much closer we are to hitting that point of aim. I got to remember to set the trigger on this thing. I'm not used to that. All right. I think I hit the crap down on the lower left end. Let me set another round and double check that real quick. Yeah, I see it now. All right, I guess I adjusted a little bit too much. Let me try aiming for the upper right-hand corner, and let's see if we make a center shot. Nope. We definitely hit the ground though, so we have to come up. We went too far down. My friend, who let me borrow this rifle for video making purposes, has on several occasions told me that he has a whole plethora of firearms that he himself has never shot. I am not sure if this is one of those firearms that he has never shot, but if he has not shot it, hey buddy, I recommend you shoot this thing. Boy, is it nice. You've got plenty of 7.62x39 and a range at your house. Okay, I readjusted for our elevation. I'm pretty sure that we were fairly close with our windage, but now let's go ahead, set another round downrange and find out. Okay, it looks like we're still hitting just a hair low. The beauty about 7.62x39 is it's the same round that the AK-47 takes, so I have plenty of this ammo to zero this rifle with. Alright, well, took a few rounds, but I got her sighted in. From what I have noticed playing with this rifle, it is a very nice rifle. It's definitely comfortable to shoot. I love how lightweight it is. Since it's only 7.62x39, there's not a lot of recoil. Granted, it drops like a rock out past 400, but I don't foresee me shooting past 100. I'm not that good of a shot myself, so this rifle could probably outshoot me for sure, but I got it zeroed in enough for me to go ahead and run some rounds through it. I noticed while I was shooting, I've noticed this more and more, especially as, you know, time goes on and I get older and more worn out. I say at, 24 years old, but I noticed that I sway and I move like a lot. I don't know how people are able to just hold themselves so precisely on target and shoot like sub-MOA groups. Like even while I'm resting, I can feel just my body rocking back and forth. I guess I'm just not sniper material, I say with a name like Blind Sniper. Okay, well, I have us sighted in. Let me go ahead and just launch a few more rounds at the target just to make sure that we are properly zeroed here. Okay, let's go for, I don't know. Let me zoom this thing a little bit. I'm going to set this trigger. I'm going to go for the top corner of the target because why the hell not? And yeah, we hit the top corner. Oh mama, yep, this thing is sighted in right where I want it to be. So, alright, now that we have the rifle sighted in, let's walk out to a real distance and lob some lead downrange. Alright, it's a windy day. I apologize in advance for any wind noise. I've got 3 rounds left in this magazine. Let's fix that before camera B out there falls down from the wind. Round chambered, safety off, trigger is set. This is a very comfortable little carbine, and my God, you could lay down some pretty good sniper firepower with this thing. All right, yeah, we smacked that thing pretty much dead center. One of the best parts about 7.62x39, at least for now, who knows what'll happen with the Russian ammo ban, but this video did not cost me a lot of money to make, especially since I didn't even have to buy the gun. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate you letting me borrow this. Alright, I doubt that I'll be able to stack this on top of that, but let's give it a whirl. Well, I pulled that one just a hair left. Looks like it's a little high, too. Like I said, I sway a little bit. That's just how I am. Let's try that again, stack it on top of that. Alright. Damn, that was close. Okay, how many more rounds do I have in my pocket? I have 6 more rounds for this 5-round magazine. So I guess we're gonna do 5 in the mag, and then we'll do 1 in the chamber. Alright, so this bad boy is sighted in for tool ammo, full metal jacket, probably 123 grain if I had to make an assumption on our weight here for the rounds. So if you decide to use another kind of ammunition, you might have to re-zero your rifle, but it should be pretty damn close. Alright, I made some slight adjustments to the scope because it looked like we were firing just a hair high. Let's see if I did too much. Nope, that seems to be right where we want it. Okay, let's go a little bit under that because I can't really see where my rounds are going to hit besides that. Okay, yep, that's about where I was aiming too. Yeah, I think it's safe to say that this rifle right here is very well zeroed in now. And the trigger on this thing is absolutely gorgeous. Let's go for the top corner, if I can manage it. Looks like, aha, I did hit the top corner. That is awesome. Yeah, this is a very accurate rifle. Honestly, I'm amazed that I'm achieving this kind of accuracy with the tool ammo, but we are only at 100 yards, but still, I'm able to call them off pretty good. I'm going to try and stack on top of that pile of rounds I have out there. Damn, that was pretty close. A little bit under. How many more rounds? I got 1 more round. Let me try that again, see if I can get that right in there on target. I think that one might have gone a little high. I hit my knuckle on that last one. Ah! I have 1 more round. Let's try that 1 more time. That one went a little bit lower, but my God. Okay, well, there you go. I think it's safe to say this rifle is very well sighted in at this point. Okay, well, the CZ527, is it, or 572? 527. CZ527, this right here is a very handy little carbine. I imagine if you were just going to use the iron sights, this right here would be an even lighter weight carbine. And I cannot believe how lightweight it is now. I might very well look into getting me something like this. I do very much like the wood stock on it. I definitely prefer wood stock rifles over polymer stock rifles. I don't know, I guess I just have an old soul like that, but I prefer the look and the feel of having a dead tree over some molded plastic. I'm not necessarily sure how big of a fan I am at the fact it's just a single stack magazine, but for hunting purposes, I guess for legal reasons, 5 rounds is what it is that you need. Not the easiest magazine to take out. There's a little mag release button right here built into the side of the trigger housing. I mean, it works. You aim at your target and you pull the trigger, and assuming that it's not, you know, so far out that your 7.62 by 39 round is going to drop like a rock, you should be able to make your hits on target. It's quite a windy day today, so I bet if we were shooting out at, you know, 300 or 400 yards, we'd probably see some windage issues. But at the 100 that we were firing at, I was able to stack rounds on top of each other a couple of times, although like I said earlier, I do sway a little bit, but that's just how I am. There are some times where as I'm pulling the trigger, I'll notice I bring it up or down just a hair, but it's enough to throw us off. And I know I'm not that accurate of a shot. People make fun of me all the time for it. If you want to as well, you go for it. So, it's a fantastic little carbine. I really do like it, and I really am happy that I got the chance to come out here and take a look at it. I will be doing another video on this one and comparing it to some other firearms. I'll be doing that later on down the road, but that's later on down the road. Now, I'm happy that I have it zeroed. I actually have another rifle given to me by the same friend that I have to go zero, so I guess this is the end of this episode. I'm going to go ahead and take some B-roll of this rifle. Looks like it disassembles just like a Mauser does, well, sort of. Instead of pulling out your disassembly latch, looks like on this one you push it in. Let's find out if that's the case. Yep, you push it in, makes it a little bit easier. It looks like even the same style of bolt catch there. Same style of bolt, definitely a Mauser style bolts, even the way the ejector is designed. Yeah, for all intents and purposes, this right here is definitely a Mauser action, and boy is it a beautiful one. I'm gonna go ahead, take some B-roll of this rifle so I can splice it into this video. I think I'm gonna go sight in my other rifle that I said I'd sight in for this guy. So thanks for watching, folks. Subscribe to the channel if you like this kind of stuff, because I do this kind of stuff all the time. If you like the video, do me a favor and actually like the video. That helps out with the algorithm. Description down below has a bunch of links to everything, including an email sign-up list. That's my just-in-case plan, in case this YouTube channel decides to go up in smoke. That being said, oh man, I'm tired. I've done a lot of filming today, and I am definitely tired, but I'm not done. So I am going to probably grab me a bite to eat, maybe some coffee. Unfortunately, I have to drink decaf due to some health issues, but that's not you guys' concern. You guys go off, have a fantastic day, and thanks for watching. Since I've done this. Bonnie and Clyde be damned. Poor man's Garen. Shame that bolt action shotguns aren't more mainstream.